Hey kiddos, this is the video for lesson 12.2. You need to have 2 pages out. Get page 635 out and page 637 out. Please make sure that you also have a pencil and that you're completing this assignment after watching the first video for lesson 12.1. Okay, I'm going to take a look at page 635 first. So if you need to pause me, go ahead. I'm going to take that out and take a look at it. So if we look at our page, we're just going to take a look at the guided practice. Okay, so your guided practice here. Okay, we're going to be looking at locating fractions and decimals on a number line. Okay, you guys have already and should already be familiar with locating fractions on a number line. So if this was a fraction line that went on and on and on, okay, it's showing you 4 hundredths here and 50 hundredths there. So where would 45 hundredths be? This is 40, then our next one would be 41, 42, 43, and 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. So right here in the middle would be our 45 hundredths. Okay, looking over here, this is what we're going to have a lot of, is name the decimal for each point on the line. Okay, anytime you see these boxes like this, what it's doing is it's almost just kind of creating like what would be like a magnifying glass. Okay, so if we just first look here, it starts at 0. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 tenths. Okay, E would be 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 1 and 1 tenth, 1 and 2 tenths, 1 and 3 tenths, 1 and 4 tenths would be H. I am gonna, okay, 1 and 4 tenths. Okay, you notice that F and G are in this magnifying glass. So what they've done is they've taken the numbers between 1 and 3 tenths and 1 and 4 tenths, and they've magnified them. Now we're going to be looking at 1 and 30 hundredths. We've got 1 and 35 hundredths and 1 and 40 hundredths. So now we're counting kind of in the hundredths. So if we've got 1 and 30 hundredths, we've got 1 and 31 hundredths, 1 and 32 hundredths, 1 and 33 hundredths. G, if we go all the way down to G, we've got 1 and 35, 1 and 36, 1 and 37, 1 and 38, 1 and, get that decimal in there, 39 hundredths. So that was like a magnifying glass. All of this from 1 and 30 hundredths to 1 and 40 hundredths is represented right there on that number line. Okay? So let's take a look at some more practice problems. Okay, we're not going to do too many, we're not going to do all of these, I guess. We're just going to do a few. Okay, so only difference here from like 7 and 8 is 7 they've written it as a fraction, 8 they've written it as a decimal. As you can see here, our number line is written as decimals, but that's okay. Okay, these are all representing hundredths. So if you wanted to take 7 and 45 hundredths, you could write that as 7 and 45 hundredths. Okay, same thing. All we're doing is writing it as a fraction. So let's go ahead. Let's try to find 7 and 47 hundredths. Okay, we know that 47 falls between 45 and 50. So we've got 7 and 46 hundredths, 7 and 47 hundredths. So that is represented at point J. And you would just write J. What about 7 and 68 hundredths? Okay, 68 hundredths, you know, is going to be closer to 70 than it is to 40. So let's start over here. Okay, here we've got 65, 66, 67, boom, 68, 7 and 68 hundredths. That's represented by point in. Okay, same thing goes for all of them, those. Okay, here, okay, they're just kind of trying to trick you. They've got 4 and 5/10. Okay, you can add a 0 if you remember from my very first lesson. You can add zeros behind these numbers. Okay, so you don't get confused. So here we've got 4 and 50 hundredths, 4 and 55 hundredths, 4 and 60 hundredths, 4 and 65, 4 and 70, 4 and 75, 4 and 80. Okay, so now what they want us to do is we've got to find the mark or find the point and tell what decimal it is. So here we have 4 and 65 hundredths. 1 point to the right is J. That would be 4 and 66 hundredths. Let's go ahead and let's do O. O is right here after 4 and 75 hundredths. So 4 and 77. Oh, sorry. Counted wrong. Hopefully you caught me. 76. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at your assignment. Your assignment is going to be homework and practice 12.2. That is page 637. Okay, so get that out in front of you. We're going to read over the directions and we'll do a few problems together. Okay, all I want you to do for today's assignment is numbers 1 through 10. So just our front page, nothing on the back. Okay, let's read our directions. For 1 through 5, they want us to name the point on the number line for each decimal. So that is going to be, you're going to be writing A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, same thing goes for 6 through 10. Name the fraction. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Name the fraction for each point on the number line. Okay, so these are written as fractions, and they want you to write a fraction instead of a number or a letter. So if we take a look at what we've got, okay, if we start with 10 and 1/10, we could go and know that is close to 10. But is that point B? Does point B represent 10 and 1/10? No. Going 1 over, C represents 10 and 1/10. So we would write C. Remember that this is like a magnifying glass. So this is representing the hundredths that fall between. Okay, so D and E are going to fall between this small area here. That's why they blew it up for you. Okay, so 10 and 28 hundredths. Okay, any of your hundredths, so 2 and 3, you're going to find on this number line. Looking at numbers 6 and 10, let's find point Q. Okay, they want us to name the fraction. So what fraction is represented right here with point Q? We've got 3 and 8/10, 3 and 9/10. We could say we've got 3 and 10/10, or what do you guys know 3 and 10/10 is equal to? Equal to 4, right? So I'm going to write 4 up here, and I would recommend you guys doing that too. That way, as you keep moving, you've got 4 and 1/10, 4 and 2/10, 4 and 3/10. Okay, and you could number the line. Okay, remember this is a magnifying glass, so this is showing you what is from 4 to 4 and 10 hundredths, or 1/10. Okay, so S and V are going to be written as hundredths. So I'm going to give you guys kind of some help on that. I'm going to give you the whole number. It's going to be 4 and something in the hundredths. 4 and something in the hundredths. So you've got to count. What is that going to be? 100th, 200th, 300th, and so on. Okay? Good luck. If you need any help, get on with office hours or ask me during our Zooms. We'll see you guys later.